Good morning. Time to make the coffee. Today's flavor is, what is it? Gingerbread. Why can't I remember that? Gingerbread. And it's very good. It's Aldi's Barissimo brand. When I woke up this morning, it was 2 degrees. Oh, so cold. It's supposed to be sunny, but we don't have that cloud cover keeping us a little bit warmer. So the rest of the week is supposed to be a deep freeze. And then I saw in the forecast where next week it's going to warm up to the 40s again. So that'll be good. There's a little dusting of snow, but I think at this point it may even be a little too chilly to be snowing. But anyway, Mom's still here. She's wanting to go home, which is understandable, even though she enjoys the company. She likes her home. She likes her house. So I don't know. I'm kind of winging it at this point and seeing how things go. I think she's still okay to stay in her own home. But we'll see how it goes. I don't want to force her to do anything she doesn't want to do unless I absolutely have to step in and, for safety reasons, make a decision. So anyway, just one day at a time. That's the best we can do. That's the way I keep a peaceful demeanor most of the time. Not that I never get stressed, because I do, but I try and be rational about everything that I do. Doesn't always happen, but I do my best. So anyway, this is another beautiful cup from a viewer. Very pretty. So let's add a little creamer the gingerbread, and like I said, this is really good coffee. I really like it. It's got a good strong flavor, but not bitter. Some strong coffees have a bitter taste to me, which I don't like. It's one of the few flavors that I don't like. I don't like too much heat, and I don't like bitter, but this is good. I think it's an Arabica coffee, but I'm not sure. So cheers. I hope all of you are keeping warm that have the snow traveling across your region. Yes, very good. So let's see, how much winter do we have left? Whatever it is, it's too much. So, spring here in my area is usually very wet and very messy, but it does bring about some beautiful flowers. So it's about time to start dragging out the garden books and coming up with some ideas on what I want to plant next year. Still a little too early to do the winter sowing. I'm going to wait till February to do that. I think some people do it earlier, but I had fairly good luck waiting till the end of February to do my winter sowing last year. So I'll do that again and see how it goes this year. Last year I think we had enough rain, and the garden did very nicely. We had enough sun, we had enough rain. And of course, as farmers know, the weather has a big impact on your crops. So I don't want to plant enough to do any canning or anything like that. I canned some when I was younger, but it's really not my thing, even though I like to cook. I find canning to be a bit too labor intensive, and I don't enjoy it much. I'd rather just chop things up and freeze them. But I know a lot of people enjoy canning. My mom and I read an old letter from my grandpa, and he was saying how my grandma had just canned 100 jars of various different jellies and jams, and it was like, oh my gosh, I guess she really liked it. But I do remember her doing some canning from when I was little. I don't know how I remember that, but things stick in your mind. So anyway, I'm going to enjoy my coffee now, and I will meet you at the budget book. Okay, here I am back at the budget book. So yesterday I didn't spend any money, so that's good. More green check marks than red, so that's a very good thing. So it is a low spend month. That doesn't mean I'm not going to buy anything at all, but I'm going to keep a handle on what I'm spending. So I did get myself 3, not jogging suits, but lounge suits. There we go, loungewear. I did get myself a couple of those, and I'm getting rid of some of the older ones that are just not looking so good anymore. Even though nobody sees them, I don't want to go around wearing rags either. So some of those will have to go, and then the new ones will get put to good use. So I'm trying to keep my spending as low as I can without totally not spending anything, because I may need to get some fresh produce down the road, but I don't plan on doing much in the way of grocery shopping either, because I don't need it. So with this cold weather, I'm very happy that I have enough food in the house and I don't have to worry about going grocery shopping, because it's just too doggone cold. And what I have is plenty, and I can mix and match different things. I have my grains, I have my cereals, I have all kinds of basic foods that I can mix and match and come up with some delicious dishes. So anyway, that's the way I like to shop. Just keep the basics on hand, and you can make anything if you have flour and sugar and salt and little milk, whether it's plant-based or regular. I like to buy the shelf-stable milk, and I keep it in the refrigerator before I open it, because I think it makes it last a little longer. And then I always have milk available. It's also a good idea, if you drink dairy, to keep a little condensed milk, a few cans of that around, and then you can add water to it, and even if you don't like to drink it, you can cook with it. So just some of the basics, and I like to keep that fully stocked. Now my pantry has a lot of food in it, but it's not so much that I could live for years and years on it, but I could live probably for maybe 3 months on what I have before I would have to get really, really creative with what I cook. But my whole thoughts on that is to keep enough so that if something happens, either a weather disaster or something else, that I will have enough food to sustain me and my grandson and now my mom. So anyway, those are my thoughts on prepping and prepping with food. And I'm at a point now where I just replace what I use rather than continuing to build up my stock. So anyway, I'm going to finish my coffee, and I'll be back shortly, and we'll do a reading. 101 Ways to Simplify Your Life by Candy Paul. Day number 69.
Converse continually with God. There is not in the world a kind of more sweet and delightful than that of a continual conversation with God. Brother Lawrence. Hourly prayer is a simple way to sustain the connection of grace as you go through the day. You don't need alarms or rigid rituals, just the awareness that God is always there to listen if you wish to converse with Him. Choose to be like a child who knows that God is intimately interested in all that he or she has to say and in everything that happens, no matter how small or trivial it might seem to others. Practice prayer as a relationship that's as essential and simple as daily bread. Listen for God's guidance. It will help you sort and clarify priorities. Prayer is talking with God. Use a small reminder, such as a phone ringing or a bird singing, to prompt a moment's prayed conversation in your day.
Well, good morning. I thought this morning I'd have a little chat with you. Cheers. While I drink my coffee and while I have a couple moments here to myself. Mom's still sleeping. And sometimes she has trouble sleeping, at her age. Older ladies need to use the facility during the night. But I think she's kind of snug as a bug in the rug with my new sheets and everything, and nice and cozy warm. And when I ask her how she slept, she always says, "Oh yeah, I slept good." So that's a perk. At least I know she's comfortable in my bed. So today I wanted to talk a little bit more about decluttering. I touched on it a little bit yesterday when I was talking about simplifying and, So with decluttering, there's really no right or wrong way to do it. I mean, there's a lot of suggestions and ways online. There's Dana White, the way she declutters and finds ways to store things. And I actually like her suggestions in her channel. There's Marie Kondo that, pulls everything out, and then you love it or you don't love it, and you thank your things and whatever. I tried that, and I find that too overwhelming, just pulling everything out, and then if you don't get through it in a day, it's like you've got this big mess going on that is hanging over your head, just screaming to be done. So I have her book, and it's great, but that wasn't for me either. And then of course you've got your Swedish death cleaning where everything but the kitchen sink kind of leaves, so your kids don't have to deal with it, and that's fine too. As long as you keep some things that still make you happy, whatever way you get through it. It's all a personal thing, and we all need to get through it in our own way. I personally like to go through my stuff kind of continuously and get rid of things as I see fit. If it's totally not serving my purpose at all, it goes. If it's something that maybe I'll pick up again in a while, I'll keep it for a while yet. But eventually it goes too. So to me, decluttering is not a stressful process. It's not something that gives me anxiety or anything along that line. I find it actually relaxing to declutter, and I enjoy looking at some of the things that I forgot I had, and it takes you down memory lane a little bit too. It's like, oh, I remember when this was useful, or I used to do this or whatever. And then I ask myself the question, am I going to ever do this again? If it's maybe, then I'll keep it a while longer. If it's no, I really have to be realistic about this and just let it go. And then that's what I do. I stick it in a box. I wait for the donation people to come and pick it up. It works great. So for me, that process does not cause me any distress or anxiety whatsoever. And if I have to go through my house 20 times, then that's what I'll do. So I realize that as I'm getting older, I need to keep some things and I need to get rid of some things. And I still want to do that while I have the stamina and the strength and the brain power in order to do that. I don't want to wait until I'm too old to actually not be able to do the process anymore, if that makes any sense. So those are really the only time restrictions that I have, is I want to get it decluttered before I'm too old to do it. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about that because, some people say, oh, you got to do it like all at one time, and, oh, it would make me feel stressful if I had to do it that way. Well, we're all different, and, okay, so do it your way then. But anyway, it's like my living room, I know I talk about my living room, but it's almost to the point where it's just right. Now, by next year, it may not be just right again. It's got enough decor in it where I feel cozy in there, but it doesn't have so much in there that I feel overwhelmed by it. I can pick up a few things and dust them. I can clean up the floor. That's not a big deal. Now, my dining room, I am working on that because I'm having a conflict with that of if I should get rid of my dining room table and chairs. The chairs are extremely heavy. They're wrought iron. They're hard to move. And the table is very big and heavy. Plus it has 2 leaf extensions in there, which we really don't use that table anymore. It used to be great when I had the whole family over for holiday meals, but we don't use it anymore. So I'm thinking about slowly, maybe that room used to be a den. Then I converted it into the dining room, and I got a lot of use out of it that way. But now I don't use the dining room. I don't feel like I need a kitchen and a dining room right next to each other because when we gather here at my house, it's always in the kitchen anyway. We all cram in here and we're all together and we have conversations and it's really nice. So what I'm thinking of doing is maybe moving the daybed in the dining room and converting it like back to a den or a not really a bedroom, but a place where if, let's say, my mom comes and stays with me more often, periodically, or she may need to stay permanently, I don't know yet, but she'll have her own room and her own space there. So I'm thinking about doing that. Now that would require me to sell my table, my chairs, and probably my very large china hutch. I'm still on the fence about that. And, as you declutter, sometimes you do get attached to some things. Now, I have some dishes in the china hutch that I really, really like because I already decluttered all the things that I don't like and don't use anymore, and it was actually quite a bit. So I already decluttered all of that. So I would have to get rid of some of the things that I do still like, and but that's the way it goes. So, you know, if you're in the process of decluttering, don't let people, you know, say, oh, that's the wrong way to do it. You shouldn't do it that way. That would make me crazy, or whatever it is they say. Do it in your own time and in your own way, whatever makes you comfortable. And if you need to take a trip down memory lane while you're looking through your things, so what? What's it hurting? It's not hurting anybody else. So, all right, well, I think I hear Mom stirring upstairs, and she'll be calling me shortly to help her down the steps. So, I'll be back in a little bit, and we'll sign off. Well, all right, my friends, it was a fairly productive day today. I got a lot of my Christmas stuff taken down, and I still have a couple things I have to take down the basement. But all in all, kind of got my living room put back together, and it's looking kind of bare to me, but that's okay. That'll make it easier to clean now. So, yeah, I'm satisfied. I got quite a bit done today. So, all right, my friends, that's all I have for you today. I want to wish you abundant blessings. I love you guys. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. God bless you. And I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. It helps my channel grow. Don't forget to share. Thanks for watching.